You are listening to a podcast of the Geek I Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geekio.
Hello, gentle listener. While Geek I holds its talent to the highest standards, what follows will likely involve the sort of language usually reserved for sailors on leave. If you're of a delicate disposition, then perhaps you would consider a different podcast.
There. What? No, God damn it.
Take two.
Geeking out across the globe. Hold on to your butts. It's the Geek I.O. Show.
The Geek I.O. Show.
You know what's hard? Trying to keep up with a person who actually plays drums. And, on my little desktop drums here. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first show of 2018. Woo!
We survived!
Yay!
Oh, my God. This is episode 226 of your podcast, Playground, the Geek I.O. Show. Recorded Thursday, the 4th of January, 2018. And I am CJ.
Because it's shonen bullshit.
Boat.
And I am Raul. I forgot to put in something in the show notes. Quack.
I'm Dale
Holding the dog.
Campbell.
Dale getting duck quacked. I'm Rachel.
Carrie's muted.
I was waiting for your witty nickname.
No, I'm too cold to be witty.
I'm Carrie, missing subtle cues, Wilcox.
Oh.
I'm tired.
On to the news.
Onto the nudes? What?
Yes.
Nudes.
Oh my God, you guys. So as per the usual, the first episode of the new year has been for the last 4 years, because we've been doing this for 5 years now. Best of the previous year. Again, I've been doing this show for 5 years now.
You know you can quit anytime you want, CJ.
I'm not a quitter.
Now, hang on. For a third time, how long have you been doing this show?
5 years.
And there you go. Now you have a first soundbite.
Just name the show 5 years. Just name it 5 years.
5 years, and my amount of colored hairs, because I'm blonde and thusly going gray is not going to affect me any, has increased insurmountably, especially since Raul's joined me. What?
CJ throwing that hot shade early in the episode.
Oh,
Yeah, and that off the
going
bingo
great
card.
for the
Who
past
had
like 5 years, but then I've been working in my current job for 5 years. Huh?
Coincidence? I think not. So we're not. I don't want to go into like memory lane, except for this last year. So what we do every year is we kind of take some stuff. Most of us are game players, so we pick games, stuff we watched. I personally broke mine down into anime, television, and movies because, hey, it's my show. Geek I.O. episodes because we're self-indulgent bastards. And I put in other category for news, other things that you enjoyed and things like that, because I had the news category. And then looking through 2017 news, I almost wanted to kill myself. So
Can I do a quick
I'm not doing news because no.
No, I have some stuff.
Sorry, go on.
If you do want to listen to the countdown of the biggest news of 2018 or 2017, listen to Dale and I go on a hour and a half rampage of it on Generic Live Show, airing sometime.
Want to know what the best news about 2017 is?
It's over.
2018 now. Yeah.
So we don't like end on a sour note because that's how you have the best of year template out. Pick a day. It was bad.
Well,
Every
no, I
day.
mean, Dale and I got into a lot of the good parts of 2017. Well, some of the good parts of 2017, like a giraffe giving birth, and nothing else of no good happening in the world.
Yeah, like I went to the New York Times top stories of 2017 earlier, and it's just like, okay.
Somebody's a sexual harasser. Somebody died. Somebody's a sexual harasser. Somebody died.
Yeah.
Trump did a thing.
Whatchamacallit? I think
Nazis are a thing in
I think he was on that list 3 times. You had terror attacks, Vegas, New York, Kentucky. Yeah, not Kentucky, Connecticut, Texas. Yeah, it was just
garbage. I mean, you can argue the sexual harasser thing sucks. However, the good news is people are finally believing women when they speak up.
And that is part of that is one thing that Dale and I went on to a really long tirade about, is the fact that because of all this, women are empowered at this point.
Like half.
It's no longer what did you do to instigate this whole situation? It's that's still bad regardless of what happened prior to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, by the way, spoiler alert, that's one of the 2 things that I have on my others category of good things for 2017 is really strong, empowered women really made a comeback in this year.
Oh, here's another thing you can add, CJ. The 3 top grossing films for this year all starred women.
There you go. That's something.
I was going to say, CJ can add pussy coins to the list.
Crypto Kitty, not pussy coins.
On Sunday.
We talked a lot about the dong and Crypto Kitty on Sunday.
And you broke Dale with Crypto Kitty.
Yes, I completely decimated Dale on air with Crypto Kitty.
I still don't get it.
Nobody does. That's the point. Nobody understands cryptocurrency at all.
So you meant your pussy gets bigger or something? I'm confused.
Dale's broken. Don't break Dale.
So since I have one thing on my others list checked off, I'm just going to go ahead and say the other one. Since it's not a thing that I watched, Hamilton's real good, and I discovered it in 2017, and it's real good.
But is it real good?
It's super good. One of, if not the best thing that has entered my being in 2017.
Hey, if anybody wants to get 2 tickets for me for Hamilton, I'd totally be okay with it. 4 would be awesome because my kids would lose their shit.
I almost got to see it on Broadway, but the tickets were $300 a piece for the bad seats.
Yep.
Yeah, that we were looking at nosebleed seats out here at whatchamacallit in Tampa, and I was like, do I want to go on vacation to Australia or do I want to see Hamilton? Dale, you almost got a 2 a.m. phone call going, Dale, talk me off the ledge. Tell me Australia's better. Dale.
We do also, at least I do, and this was something that mainly it was, back in the day, it was me and Slater bringing up disappointments of the year, but I do want to talk about some disappointments of the categories when we get to them as well.
Yeah.
It's not a requirement, and in fact, a couple of my don't have them, but, they're there. So, let's start off about games.
Okay. You want to start with the worst first?
My disappointment of this was a tie because I couldn't possibly figure out which I disliked more between The Surge and the Final Fantasy XII remake.
Whoa, I thought you liked the Final Fantasy XII remake.
Yeah, and then the ending happened, and then the second half happened, and then hot garbage. Then it reminded me how bad that game is.
They didn't clean up nearly enough of it. It left a lot to be desired.
The top half
I won't say it was the worst, but it definitely just. And I have literally every single U.S. released game.
The top half of Final Fantasy XII remade, the Zodiac Age, got put together really well. And then they just kind of forgot about the second half of it, and that really dragged down the game. Because for me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and because that's what's going to leave me off. That's how I leave a thing, is the ending of the game. And to be honest, the only reason why I'm still playing The Surge is because they gave it to me, and
Yeah, I'm watching you play it, and it's not even Dark Souls good.
No.
It's not even it just seems like it was thrown together.
Not even Dark Souls bad.
Yeah, it's not even a bad Dark Souls game.
Yeah, it does feel just forced and rushed, and including Assassin's Creed level glitches And that's infuriating, especially on a game where timing and precision is everything. Anybody else have any other disappointments on games?
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Did you actually play it? Did you pick it up?
No, hell no. I didn't want to give him any money. I didn't even want to like give him rental money. Just to like try the story, but like, oh my God, it's like Star Wars Battlefront 2 or EA's Search for More Money. And also, worst thing of last year, the gambling boxes.
Yeah, it got to a new high. Like between Shadows of War and
You mean a new low?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, why are you selling loot boxes for a single player game?
I
Yeah.
do get that.
That actually, I mean, that did put me off on Shadows of War. Thankfully, the rest of the game is solid enough for me not to be like, you know, this ruined it for me because I just don't touch I just don't touch the loot boxes in that game.
And then for Battlefront 2, for them to be loot boxes that have a direct impact on gameplay.
Yep.
Like, I don't mind the Overwatch ones because it's like skins and stuff that you can just buy with in-game currency anyway. And like it's not pay to win, it's pay to get cool stuff.
Pay to look pretty, like real life.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it if in Overwatch it gave you like a set amount, like, oh, play. Well, they do have the win 3 games or win 9 games and get 3 free loot boxes, but I kind of wish that they would have given coins as well. Like, oh, every win gives you 100 coins. Every loss,
yeah, like every 3 wins you get 10 coins or something like that.
Yeah, something that so you can like accumulate them over time. But
Precisely.
Let's not get too deep into that because this will turn into Gamer Geeks real quick. Let's see. Anything else for worst games?
Fuck Cars 2, the video game. Just got to get that out there. Of course I do.
Yeah, we had last year
The
we had
game.
Dale Does Disney.
And fuck Light Rail.
And fuck Light Rail. Like, what? Where did it even come from? Like, that is just.
So it's not a this year game, but I was introduced to it via Dale this year. Can I vote worst game Cars 2 featuring Dale as the driver?
Colin, the video game.
With Dale involved, it's great, but the game itself is just trash.
It doesn't. It's not even like, I understand movie tie-in games. I get it, but this one just
made no sense.
Right, it made no sense, and you know, it just.
I mean, I haven't played a
Like
movie
the
tie-in
combo
game.
is the best part about it.
I mean, I haven't played a movie tie-in game in a while. I think the last one I played was the Lord of the Rings games for the PS2, and those were actually good.
They're good.
Last one I played that I can remember, Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racing for the PS2.
Okay, pod racing
That's
was
like
good.
every year this year. Just every year is
That's
that.
the only good thing that came out of Episode 1.
Yep.
But Cars 2 was just lazy. If you wanted to point to a lazy game, there's
And
Cars
the
2.
movie. I mean, that's the issue. Is like you got a real bad game off of a real bad movie. Like you couldn't expect much out of that, given the source material.
That's very true. But I think Cars 2, the movie, was. I suppose, yeah, this makes sense for the game too. Cars 2, the movie, was just very misdirected.
Yeah.
Cars 2, the video game, is bad direction because, well, it had no direction to start with. So
There's a reason why it's called shovelware.
Yeah.
Let's see. Best things. I know.
Well, Josh, Gary, do you have?
I didn't feel any disappointments for games. Like, I didn't game a whole lot this year, and the games that I primarily played are my best 3 because they were the ones that were most worth putting my time into.
Carrie and her unending positivity. I knew that would happen.
Well, that, and also, like, I don't have a lot of time to game, so if a game looks like it's gonna be, like, I don't know, like, I didn't really But I played the games that I really wanted to play, which are the 3 on my list.
Which I'm sure our best of games for people who game often are going to be just the same. Like maybe the best of the year might be different between all of us, but
any particular disappointments from you, Josh, on the gaming front?
You can't say Cars 2.
You can't say League of Legends.
Well, but see, that's always a disappointment.
But it's a disappointment you keep going back to.
Unfortunately. I mean, therein is the problem. It's a continual disappointment that I can't force myself to quit. Because when I tried that, I just wound up playing it again anyways. Because apparently I'm just that masochistic. But, as far as video games... Again, I wasn't disappointed much by what I played this year because my gaming time is unfortunately at a premium at the moment. And so when I'm playing a game, I'm making sure that it's something I really want to invest myself into. And so I don't do a whole lot of
experimental
playing
games.
around, basically.
Yeah, because you've got those sweet hours before the sweet hours between coming home, eating,
and passing out.
Yeah.
Like that is literally my life at the moment. I'll just maintain my salt levels over Mighty Number 9 instead.
It's spilled over.
Yeah, that came out in 2016, right? The end of 2016.
The salt overfloweth.
Oh, I'm so mad about that. But we are getting a new Mega Man this year.
That I did see this past year, and that I am excited about. But obviously, it can't be a best of 2017 because it's not out yet.
We can say best game trailer of 2017.
It did fill me with determination.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say out a couple of ones that I don't think are any on other people's lists because my top 4 are gonna be on everybody's lists. I played Bloodborne for the first time in 2017, and that would be remiss for me to not say that is on my top of the games because now every kind of game that is like that is instantly put to that bar, and if a game can become that bar in a positive way, that it has left it left something with me, and to a point where I want to go back and play Bloodborne again.
And you had a blast with that
streams.
Yep, exactly. And now that I've gotten the drinking stream thing down, like especially if I can get somebody to handle the tech area, Rachel, while I'm doing it, then it'd be even better. Second one that may not be on other people's lists, freaking Sonic Mania, you guys.
Oh, I forgot
about Sonic Mania.
Exactly.
Oh my
gosh. We're not used to having a good Sonic game.
It almost feels like a fever dream.
Shut your dirty mouths. If you go back to the OG Sonics, those were good.
No. That's what I mean.
The new ones are not.
No, since then. Since Sonic went 3D, there hasn't been a good Sonic game.
No,
Sonic Adventure 2 is badass, dude. Don't even.
You mean the Chow farming game?
Yeah.
There hasn't been a good game since the old school game.
That was fun though.
and Sonic Generations was pretty good too. But and also all of them just kind of are just okay. Like Sonic Forces is okay. Sonic Generations okay. Like Sonic Mania is legit amazing. Like,
what I like is that this seems like the natural progression of what Sonic should have done, not just jump into 3D.
Well, that was the hot thing back then, though.
That's the thing, though, is it really goes to show you what happens when people who are actually passionate about an intelligent project put effort into something versus people who are just squeezing Sonic nipples for all they're worth.
Exactly.
Yeah, because certain IPs, gaming IPs, made the transition to 3D. Zelda, Mario
got lucky. I honestly think Mario got lucky in 3D.
Metroid did amazing in 3D.
Yes.
There are so many people that cannot physically do it. I have perfect vision. CJ does not. Well, perfect, quote, quote. 3D doesn't bother me. However, I get motion sickness when there's 3D.
Yeah.
That's the reason why whenever I get into
do 3D.
the thingy bit in Sonic Mania, she has to close her eyes.
Yeah.
VomitFirst.com.
Are we talking about that 3D, or are we talking about side-scrolling to actual navigating 3 dimensions? So Super Nintendo to N64, basically. Because I thought we were talking about like 2-dimensional gameplay versus.
Yeah, Rachel, you're confusing the two of like Doctor Strange level 3D versus just like moving on a 3-dimensional axis.
No, moving on the 3-dimensional axis is one thing. There are certain sections in Sonic Mania that I have to kind of go, "Whoo, can't look at that." Like CJ laughed at me. He was going through spins at one point, and I was like, "Whoa, no."
Slow down there, buddy.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
Because I get motion sickness. I get motion sickness over stupid things.
Ask Josh. I gotta go fast in every game.
God damn you and your speed power-ups, CJ.
Gotta go fast.
Like, fuck you. Fast. Hey, CJ, here's another game for you for this year. Knack.
Yeah. Rachel
Knack
and I
2,
discovered
right?
Knack. Well, Rachel and I just discovered Knack for the first time this year. So
Yeah.
I've got the knack and I'm giving
So it's a
it
little
to
bit
you.
more than just a PlayStation 4 test demo game, right?
it's so good.
It's
Even
fun.
the first one is really good. The second one, from when I was watching Josh play, is just it's infinitely better. Like,
CJ, we have the second one.
no, we don't.
I thought we did.
Nope.
Yeah, because I remember Knack was like their first game
We
that
played it
they
in
showed
Robot
off.
House.
Okay.
Because it was like the #1 tech demo that they had. It was that and what the hell was that other game?
Terror? No, not Tearaway.
The shooting game, the one that they were like, oh, this is going to kill Halo.
Call of Duty?
You know which game I'm talking about, right?
No.
No, nobody does.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like we don't play many shooters.
I still stand by my Call of Duty guess. Just
Whatever it was probably just like that.
Probably.
Resistance.
Oh, right.
Killzone.
Killzone. Yeah, there you go. I guess. So those are the two that I don't think are on anybody else's list that I have.
Okay.
forgot about Sonic Mania.
Going up in my order personally, Breath of the Wild in fourth place.
Oh.
It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. It has flaws, and especially when you're playing Master Mode, those flaws begin shining real bright.
Oof, Master Mode. See what Master Mode in action.
Yeah. Thus, why my next one up, Horizon Zero Dawn, got above Breath of the Wild, a whole new IP. You guys know how I am about strong women, so Aloy is baeloy.
It's baeloy. Someone will have to else watch.
Robot dinosaurs. Anything that you could see, you can climb without having to Skyrim physics your way up it.
Or worry about a stamina meter.
Or worry about a stamina meter. You don't have to worry about your goddamn weapons breaking halfway through. Like the love that Guerrilla Games put into this just shines, and I think this would have been higher up if it wouldn't have came out like 2 weeks before freaking Breath of the Wild did.
Right.
Yeah. It
This got pushed down, honestly, I think, because Breath of the Wild came out so close to it and just kind of started eating its lunch.
Well, yeah, because we have brand new IP, which is great, versus The Legend of Zelda.
Exactly, and the nostalgia kitties need their fixes for it, and I'm one of them. Don't get me wrong.
Plus, it was on the back of the Switch launch.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you bought the Switch, and then you had the only decent game to buy was Breath of the Wild at the time.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it was the console seller.
Yeah,
because I mean, nobody bought the game. Nobody bought the Switch for Bomberman. Trust me, I know.
I mean, Breath of the Wild is why Josh and I decided to camp out to get a Switch, which in turn is why we're here.
Yo,
Exactly. Welcome.
It was really a breath of fresh air and everything that I didn't know that I wanted in Horizon Zero Dawn. It was amazing and damn near perfect. It had some flaws. But going back and playing it again, trying to get up to the DLC that I haven't bought yet, and also beat the game because I got to the point where one, I didn't want to beat it because, well, the Switch came out. And
2, you're going to be careful about saying anything that might be construed into a spoiler.
No, I mean, not just that. No, it was 2 because I knew there wasn't a New Game Plus at the time. And I knew, like, as soon as you beat it, it did that annoying thing where it's just, like, yanks you back. And I didn't want to deal with that without a New Game Plus because I had, at this point, put already 100 hours into it. And I'm not joking. I dove hard into Horizon Zero Dawn. And, like, I am 60% to a platinum in that game. And most of it is storyline stuff because I still haven't beat it yet. I still have not beaten Horizon Zero Dawn.
Wow.
And it's because there's just so much to do and like so much going on and it's new stuff. And I love it. And also Aloy doesn't instantly grab onto rocks when you walk by them, Link.
I just loved playing that game. Like just running around the starting zone because like Josh got me that game and I love playing it. I feel bad because I haven't really played it a whole lot, but I've enjoyed every second of it. And I remember going through the climbing tutorial and I noticed where cameras land on female characters.
Yep.
And the camera's focus, no matter what Aloy was doing, was on how capable she is, how skilled she is, how adept at manipulating her environment. It never once zoomed in on her boobs or her butt for no reason.
And like a person later on in the game starts talking about her chest and she knocks them the fuck out. Like,
good.
Like it's great because this guy's like, he's Mr. Smarmy. He comes up to her like, your chest would look much better if it weren't in all those hides, and just takes the staff, just knocks him upside the head. I'm like,
which is great.
Yes. Winner. And that's really the only time, like even later in the game, like there's no sexualization of Aloy. She is just strong. She is the strongest and everybody fucking knows it. Like,
and she's not just capital S strong. She has agency. She has a story. She has feelings.
Yeah, she does.
A person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into why because I enjoy your friendship, but yes, you do. And it's not just, she's not just a Mary Sue. Like I'm going to like put that away right now. She is not just written to be the best because she is the best. Like everything about her is, there's a reason
for it
behind it. And it is, she is not just Superman made as a woman. And it's brilliant.
Well, and I mean, even just in the beginning cutscenes with her and Ross, you see she has worked her ass off.
Yep.
To just get to where she feels like her story can begin.
Yeah.
And it is quite a story. Like it is an amazing storyline that goes through arcs that I didn't think they would have went through, and to a point where like I got to another story arc and I'm like, cool, I'm going to get to this point because I want to get to where I can play the DLC, which from what I've been told happens more towards the end of the game. You don't want to just buy it and jump into it. You can, but apparently it does some spoiler stuff to it. So I'm like, all right, I want to get to a point where I'm doing stuff and like stuff starts happening. And then I'm like, oh, crap, now I have to keep going through. And like you get into the blood souls thing where you start looking at the items because those give you more lore and you do it because you fucking want to.
Yeah.
Like this cup matters. It matters because there is stuff written in it that now makes sense.
Yeah, like I was finding things like, oh, that's what this is. This is a watch. This is a McDonald's cup that I found next to a robot dinosaur.
And it all makes sense later. Like when you start off, radical concept. It does a natural world building. Like
it's kind of wild.
You slowly start discovering things until the crescendo, and then everything just starts going into high run, like a story, like a well-written story should.
Have you guys seen that one meme about Horizon Zero Dawn? What era is it? It's the Viking Age. That explains the laser raptors.
Yes. And the design and everything in that game is just so amazing. And yes, I bought it because robot dinosaurs. Because as ridiculous as Josh is about robots, I'm ridiculous about dinosaurs. Like, I give me dinosaur all of the things. And the fact that I love future tech and robots as well, and then I get robot dinosaurs, I could not be happier with this game.
And it's especially nice because they're not just robot dinosaurs for the sake of being robot dinosaurs. Each of these things was designed with intent.
Yeah, they were, and that's where I'm going to drop that one.
Okay.
Next game up on the list, barely not making game of the year for me, Super Mario Odyssey. I fucking love this game. It's so good. And that's all we're really going to say about it. It is a game that on a system that everybody kind of was between wanting it to fail, expecting it to fail, and just not caring. You know, Mario Odyssey exists, and it is just a breath of joy in the world.
Well, Mario Odyssey is on my list as well, and it's because it's a fun, fantastic game that I've played so far. I'm still not very far in it, but again, gaming time being at the premium that it is. But it's just further proof that, Nintendo is doing right where Sega is failing so hard with most of their attempts at Sonic games. Like, Mario Odyssey comes out, and it's everything you want in a Mario game. It's Nintendo handling their IPs properly to continue making more games with them.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a reason why they've sold us Mario for the past 30 years. And we've bought every Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, the mascot is there for a reason, not just because, hey, this is a edgy, cool dude looking at you, Crash Bandicoot.
Put him up!
But it's just like Nintendo has gone in. If you haven't noticed, we love Nintendo here. Though we're not
There's
outside. Yes, because they don't focus on pushing out the same thing every year.
Yeah, it's not Madden.
Yeah, no, it's not Madden, it's not Call of Duty, a new shooter, a new this. They are not afraid to experiment with something new.
Exactly.
The Switch is 100% experimental.
Yeah, they understand sometimes it fails. They get that. But then they take the system which failed and improve on it and make it fucking amazing.
Yeah, the Wii U was pretty much the prototype for the Switch.
Yeah, and admittedly, but going back to Mario, like New Super Mario World or whatever it was called on the Wii U was a lot of fun playing on the tablet, and I enjoyed it. But it's just them showing love to their IPs and just not just kind of watering it down because people will buy it. Because people will buy them, but they don't just rely on that. And I love Nintendo for it. Last game I want to talk about, and it should really come as nobody's surprise, what my game of the year for this last year is. And it is a game that I have put now almost 300 hours into fucking Persona 5.
Jesus, 300 hours for what?
An hour out, 120 on the regular game, another 100 and plus on...
Yeah, he's put quite a bit.
Yeah, almost that on New Game Plus again, and like just everything about that game speaks to me. And thank you, freaking and all this. I got this game for a review, and I would not expect for a review game because the surge. Some review games are given for review for a reason because they want to get some kind of groundswell about them. And sometimes they fail. This was given to me for a review, and Like because they gave it to me for review is the only reason why I've spent the $80 getting all of the DLC things, because I'm like, hey, I don't care if it's shitty DLC, keep making content, please.
Yeah.
They haven't made any new story content for that, right?
They have not, no.
It's only been...
that's a little sad, but it's because they're working on SMT5 for the Switch next year.
Yay.
And their stories tend to be pretty self-contained.
Yeah.
Like they give you a complete package and they might give you, a few things to dress it up in a little bit differently, but it's not piecemeal. You're buying the whole damn menu.
Yeah, and absolutely. And it's not like, and there's not really anything hung off of it. Like there's not, I mean, yeah, I would love more stories set in that universe, but the complete arc that we got
was
perfect.
Amazing. Freaking loved Persona. Like I think I only put like 120 or 130 hours into it.
Only, by the way. Only.
Yeah, only because as soon as I finished it, I went my second playthrough to unlock the final Persona.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I mean, because the new game plus, your stats all go down, but you get to keep all your weapons and armor.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're hitting for like 200, but your health is only like 20.
Exactly. It's such a good game, such a great game. Like freaking perfect. I loved it. It was amazing. All right, I'm a shut up now. Who next?
Let's go with Josh and Carrie.
They're not the same person, Raul. Jeez.
Josh, why don't you go?
Well, I mean, my best games of the year are pretty similar to, most of us here, because go figure, we all even remotely hang out a lot and have similar tastes. I loved the hell out of Breath of the Wild. I loved the hell out of Super Mario Odyssey. What I have played of it so far, I am loving the Battle Chasers game.
Nice.
It's real good. It gives you everything you want in a JRPG style game, pretty much. It's not like super over the top in any like individual category, but it's well put together and I have fun playing it. Which, go figure, games should be fun.
Right? They should not be work.
Yeah, I actually like Mario Odyssey. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, Mario Odyssey, you get these little chapters of story, each place you go to, but there's no like real big walls in your way from stopping you from running around and exploring and, leaving the planet with, or not planet, but the zone with, 2 to 3 times the power moons you actually needed to leave.
Yeah.
And it's not because, it has these, huge walls stacked up in front of you that you need to overcome, but because you're just overjoyed with running around, seeing where you can go, what you can get into, well, what does this thing do? What does that thing do? Ooh, what's over there? And even if you, do stumble onto something that you maybe wouldn't have expected to run into until like a second pass through the area, it's not so complicated that it feels like impossible to surmount.
Yeah,
exactly.
Again, CJ mentioned it. I was super excited to find out that Knack actually got a sequel. You don't hear that too often from what are considered release demos.
Exactly. And
Knack 1 was released to showcase, some of what the PlayStation 4 was capable of, and it did a decent job of that, but I'm exactly the target demographic for that sort of game. I love, silly beat 'em ups featuring giant golem creatures.
And
yes, Carrie?
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
And yeah, it's like, even though it was just like, a tech demo type of game, basically, a little bit of effort and love went into it. And then Knack 2 comes along, and not only was it surprising, like, oh, wait, they're actually making a sequel? Okay, I could be excited for this. The trailer they dropped for it was adorable because it's got this goofy, like, 70s pop song going with it. And it's like, and then the game comes out, and I get my hands on it, and it's like, oh, this does everything the original game did better. Companies can learn. Carrie has a cookie.
Yay, cookie.
Edgar Allan Poe asked me to share, so I'm sharing.
That's right.
I love our screen names for our chat room, by the way.
Yeah, I loved seeing too, like, they didn't just copy pasta a random sequel, like having them actually implement the platforming elements with Knack and what he is was really freaking cool.
And yeah, it's just like you get more story, and like the game actually left me hoping, you know, unlike Knack 1 where it's like, okay, well, that was fun. You know, I didn't expect to see a sequel coming. It's like, now I want there to be a Knack 3.
Yeah, give us this, continue the story, please.
Like, where's the third part of this story? Where does this go from here? What else can we do with the, you know, a mass shifting golem sentience?
I just want it to be the last game released for the PlayStation 4, just to make that complete, like...
Give it the whole arc.
Exactly. First game is the first game, one of the first games released for the PlayStation 4. Mid-life cycle, Knack 2 is released, in the very last game for PlayStation 4 is Knack 3.
Because Knack, especially little Knack, is fucking adorable.
I think since we just had a refresh, I think we still got, what, maybe 2 years till we get a new...
I think they're going to announce the new ones at this year's E3.
We live in hope.
I wouldn't mind if they waited another year.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, because it's not like... Because we just got the Switch. That's going to be hopefully around for a while, especially with as gangbuster as its sales have been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation 4 is still holding up in graphical quality. It's like, yeah, they have the PlayStation 4 Pro now, so you can do the whole 4K thing if that's your cup of tea, but it's not doing terribly, and the games coming out for it are still good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not like it's on its last legs with, you know, Madden 2018 coming down the pipe. Woo. But yeah.
On that
So
one.
excited.
It's, yeah, 2017, one of the few things it had going for it was games.
And if it didn't, we would be all a lot worse off than we are.
Yeah, it would. Things I haven't touched into yet, unfortunately, so I can't really like say they were the best games of the year, but we saw the drop of I Am Setsuna, which is Square Enix, and apparently a love letter to Chrono Trigger.
There's a reason why it's not on my list. It was almost a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. That's your assessment. I'll see what happens when I actually play the game. I just haven't had a chance.
Absolutely. No, yeah.
But, you know, I liked the fact that the game was, you know, from Square Enix, which company I loved.
Technically, it's the Square Enix collective.
Yeah, they're a bit of a collective now. But just the idea of somebody trying to throw some love back to like the Chrono Trigger era of games.
Yeah, and it does that very well. I hope you enjoy it more than me, to be honest.
It makes me happy. Well, hopefully it'll be the balance of the scales where I can't stop bitching about Mighty Number 9 and you don't think it's a bad game.
That's fair.
Everything will balance out in the zen of I Am Setsuna.
It's very zen. Like, I bought the soundtrack and I don't regret it, by the way. That's the best thing about that game is the soundtrack is real freaking good.
Oh, The Last Guardian.
Oh yeah, that came out this year.
Yeah,
like it's really a good game. I mean, it does some funky things. Like the ragdoll is strong in that game. If you think Breath of the Wild gets some bad ragdoll moments, wait till you're hanging on to Trico for dear life.
Jeez.
And watching this little kid break every bone and vertebrae in his body and spine.
And yet somehow still live because hero.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I've heard is that the AI that's controlling Trico is like it's like controlling an actual cat.
Then that might be intentional is the thing, because you're meant to be interacting in this thing like a living creature, and it is a little frustrating at times, but it's almost a tiny bit of charm to the game, because there is this like barrier of communication between the protagonist and Trico. And like, yeah, this creature that is 5 times my size is not going to intrinsically not only do everything I tell it to do, but understand what I want it to do on the first attempt.
Yeah, but gamers be gamers expecting full blown control.
Mind meld.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really damn good game. And even though it does have, dialogue to it in parts, it does something I'm very fond of with video games, in that it tells a lot of story without a lot of words. You pay attention to things, you watch things that happen, and you get a lot of sense of what's going on in the world just from the atmosphere and, paying attention, basically.
Hey, once again, proper storytelling. You don't need things thrust down your throat.
Yeah.
A little, speaking of indie games from 2017, something that I was really fond of, this little gem called Hob came out.
Yeah, it did.
The only text in Hob is in the menus. And if you have icon suggestions on, like use this button on this MacGuffin type of thing. And the entire game is presented to you through nuances and sounds and interactions that are all physical. The protagonist doesn't speak. The one character, or excuse me, like the 1 or 2 characters in the game that do speak to you, it's complete gibberish to human ears, and there's no subtitles for it. So you don't know what they're actually trying to say, but their actions and the framing of everything that's going on perfectly tells the story. And you find these murals throughout the game that give you more of what happened, but again, it's all done without words. Everything is sound and gesture and actions, and I fucking love storytelling like that.
Yeah, having not played Hob myself, like just seeing the stuff for it is just, I love everything about it. I want to play it real bad.
It's not a super fantastic game. It's not like excellent. I love absolutely everything about it. It does have its little, spots that could have used a bit more polish. I have, clipped through things here and there, finding, little bugs and whatnot. But it's just a super enjoyable experience.
Cool.
I mean, everything from the music to the designs to, the way the story progresses, it's all good. It's all good.
Very, very cool.
I think that's about it for games for the year for me, though, because, like I said, I mean, I unfortunately had very limited time to actually game. There were a couple of Digimon games this year. They were fun little distractions because I love me some Digimon.
Yeah, they were.
Sorry, I fell out after season 3.
That might be on Rachel's list because she put a lot of hours into Next Order. And she just rolls her eyes for the audio listeners because,
I have no idea what you're talking about. None.
But yeah.
No idea.
Didn't do a whole lot of actual handheld gaming this year. Like, didn't pick up Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. My DS has gone pretty unloved for quite some time, unfortunately. But it's because, I have big, meaty hands. I don't do handheld gaming too well, and that's why I very much enjoyed the docked version of the Switch. It's great that you can pick it up and play on the go, and, I've tested it. It does work as basically seamlessly as they advertise it doing. But just for me, it's not the ideal iteration of the system. I like sitting down on my big comfy couch with my appropriately sized man-hand controller and enjoying it on the big screen with my surround sound system and just diving into, the ruins of Hyrule or the, overly themed beautiful worlds of Super Mario Odyssey. I play for the experience, and so is always the experience is a little diminished when it's pocket size.
What, you don't like the little teeny tiny half a puppycon ear things that you're trying to figure out where the hell to put your thumbs and your pointer fingers?
Well, see, like for me, my fingers are about the size of two people's fingers thickness. So trying to manipulate the puppycons
See, I've got really long,
is real frustrating.
skinny fingers.
Yeah, like Carrie's hands for scale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carrie can play with the Joy-Cons. I cannot.
Carrie's got almost Kia-sized hands. Kias are still a little bit smaller, but not by much.
But she's also, what, 7, 8?
8.
She's
I mean,
tiny.
my daughter's hands, I can still bend my first knuckle. Like, her hands are still here. So that shows you how tiny her hands are compared to mine. I have very large hands with very long, 90% of my hand is finger. My palm is as long as my middle finger, put it that way.
And trust me, that middle finger gets a lot of stretching.
Yeah, I do.
One of my students tried to break it this year. That's been my highlight.
But yeah, overall, if I had to pick like a game of the year, it would probably be Breath of the Wild, because while yes, it does have its flaws, and it has, watching my hero's journey, the amount of times he screams in death in the first areas kind of makes me ashamed of myself. But it does everything right, and then the game continued to do things right even after its release, and I've already been so invested to it. Day one loading it up, oh my god, this game is so pretty, look at all this stuff, I want to go there, I want to go there, I want to go there. And yeah, it does have its game walls in places, and that's understandable. It's not true open world in the fact that you can loop around and come out the other side or anything like that, but Nintendo's still limiting the size of the cartridges that they can do for the Switch, which not the smartest move, but I can understand why they did it.
They're releasing that next year.
Yep.
2018, you're going to be getting 64 gig SD cards. Woo!
Yep.
You mean later this year, CJ?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
We are
But
officially
the fact
in
that
2018.
the fact that the game, even now, I think I've got like 102 hours in it or something. I've played a lot of it with what little gaming time I have. The fact that it still has the ability to just make me go, ooh.
Yeah, like I'm playing the new DLC that dropped the day they announced it, and I'm like, oh
Crazy,
yeah,
crazy balls. By the way, that's absolute crazy mode that they did that.
yeah. So, I'm going to this new place where I have to go, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? It's still got the draw. It's like it's taking me something that should only take me like 5 or 10 minutes to get to, takes me an hour because I get sidetracked because I'm like, ooh, there's a moblin camp over there.
I wonder what's over that way. Ooh, hey,
Yeah.
look at those guys. I'm gonna go fuck their day up. Oh, look at the Dinalfos eating. I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, one of my friends, he was showing it off to a friend of his, and he showed him, he jumps up above them, above an enemy, shoots the 5-arrow shot, but with bombs, and just obliterates everything. The game slows down, of course, but just like one arrow, just like any way you want to approach it.
Yeah, I mean the fact that like one of the most effective weapons early game is the fucking metal boxes you can lift up with the magnet.
Yeah.
I
took out an enemy like that. I think I knocked him off a mountain.
But yeah, I mean I'm at the end game point. I could go tackle the castle at any point in time, but I'm still, trekking through Hyrule trying to make sure I didn't miss anything cool, or I'm trying to get those last couple of shrines because I'm up to like 108 of the 120 starter shrines. And it's like, I want to find everything. I want to do everything that can be done. I've tried the shield surfing. I've hunted for Koroks. I'm probably never going to get all 900 of them, but Nintendo, you
The shitty reward anyway.
You're
literally,
not
unfortunately,
yeah.
I had
you're
that spoiled
not a
for me.
madman. If you
I
want
mean,
to
I
get all
am,
that.
but that's besides the point.
That's the reason why I was able to say it and not feel bad.
But yeah, just like like I said, the fact that they did everything right from the get-go as far as like getting you invested in the game and making you want to explore and run around and maybe get yourself killed a few times in the process.
A few times.
Well, skill levels may vary. I love the characters that they put forward. I love that the NPCs all have names and personalities and schedules. I love that there's always one more little thing to uncover, like depending on where you're standing and what you're wearing, Link opens treasure chests in different ways, sometimes to comical effect. I love most of the champions. Fuck you, Rivali, you're still not my favorite.
Rivali's just a dick.
And then
they do a good job at never giving you a reason to really like him.
I mean, he gets better, but he's still like flipping you the bird, Birdman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the game gets better. They release DLC for it that doesn't, it's not required, but it enhances the story. They go through and they patch the game so that if you're like me and a bit of a weeb, you can listen to it with the audio that you first heard when the trailers were dropping. And they sound so much better. Like the voice acting for the English actors in Breath of the Wild is good. It's not bad voice acting. But the Japanese voices just ring truer to me. Like listening to American Daruk versus Japanese Daruk sounds right. He's got that deep, booming, mountainous voice that makes you want to go, yes, please protect me.
Now I'm going to have to go play it again and switch over the audios.
It's good. I still like Renaissance Fair Zelda better. Just because she's so over the top with her weirdness. It's great.
It is, but yeah, it was one of those things where it's like it's not bad either way, but if you've got a personal aesthetic like myself, where if you're playing something that's very obviously Japanese because Nintendo game, The Legend of Zelda, and we all watched the trailers when they first dropped, and it's like, this looks amazing, and you hear like that little bit of dialogue from the Deku tree, and it's like, yes, this sounds like an ancient, venerable sage of a creature. And then American voice Deku was just kind of like, that's all right. So the fact that they went through and they added that quality of life change when they didn't have to was great. The fact that they released DLC and then went publicly stating that's it. We're not adding anything else to this game. The DLC is done. We're working on the next one. And that makes me excited because Breath of the Wild raised the bar so high from the previous Zelda game. Yeah, and it makes me excited, but also slightly fearful because how are they going to top this? And it already did something that I didn't think any Legend of Zelda game was ever going to get me. We had Legend of Zelda with giant robots.
The next Zelda would... I'm thinking maybe go back to the old school, what Link Between Worlds was.
Maybe. I mean, they could probably do something like that with the Switch, no problem, especially since they're very obviously with the Switch going to start slowly phasing out.
But I think it's difficult for them to do Zelda sequels because the story that they put in there is self-contained.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is if you're really digging into Breath of the Wild, you do see things that will show you that everything is connected and these are, recurring souls caught in a loop, basically.
Yeah.
Where they keep reincarnating to fulfill their destinies. Look around in Zora's Domain at the stone tablets in the cliff surfaces. Read some of those. And tell me everything's not connected because they've gone on the record as saying everything's connected. There's a freaking tie line in the Hyrule Story now.
Yeah.
And yes, some of things aren't on the same timeline because you do get branching paths from things like Ocarina of Time because go figure, time travel fucks with shit.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why they haven't time traveled in any games after that.
But yeah, just well done. It won Game of the Year for a damn good reason. Yeah, there were things it could have done better. Like, I hated the stamina meter in Skyward Sword. I hated it in Breath of the Wild, but at least Breath of the Wild gave you some level of circumventing that wasn't oddly placed green globs that had no real reason to exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can actually increase this meter.
Yeah, you can increase the meter. You can have, consumables that, whether it's like a magic potion, which makes more sense than a random green glob, or, the special gear that increases your climbing ability because it's built that way. It's like, yeah, that's all much more logical. It's still a pain in the ass when you fall to your doom, especially if you're over water, because then you just immediately drown.
Yeah.
Also, in a game where you can literally climb anything, there needs to be a limit on why you can't just scale to the top of the map first thing. Like, there needs to be some sense of progression, and building your stamina meter up through gameplay is a good way to do that.
Right, and I'm not saying it's not. It's just, one of those personal things that I don't really jive well with. And especially since, mid-giant climbs, it's hard to find that sweet spot where you can actually rest and recover if you don't have any stamina consumables on you.
Yeah, I finding that one little ledge that's just at the right angle that you can just stand on.
And you don't slide. Yeah. So they're like a couple things they could have done better, but for the most part, it was arguably the best Zelda yet, to the point that it makes me hopeful for the next Zelda. I my only worry is that they're not going to be able to beat it at this point, because they did such a good job with it, and I haven't even beaten the game yet.
Yeah.
But it left that kind of impression, that they have created something so majestic, and everything from the little tiny musical cues in places that are old and familiar.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very quiet game. It doesn't have a lot of background music.
Yeah. But when it does, it's important.
Oh, yes.
When you start to hear the Guardian music and you see that red reticle pop up on your skin, it's like, shit!
And then when you see 3 of them on you, 3 reticles on you, you're just like, I'm going to put my sword down and I'm just going to... Yeah.
Or when you hear the Song of Time in the background, or Epona's song in the background. There's significance to what music plays where you are. But also, can you imagine this game if it had overworld music? As of right now, you get this really pretty, very zen, very calming piano theme that plays while you just wander, and you can just kind of zone out and go places. But can you imagine a 3 or even a 5-minute loop of an overpowering melody while doing that? You would go insane.
So yeah,
well,
Carrie.
Yeah, my top games are ones that we've already talked about. Obviously, Zelda is on there, for all of the reasons that have already been discussed, and also it gave Zelda a lot more agency and personality than some of the previous games have done. And you can see, as the Zelda franchise has evolved and grown, you've seen them try with Zelda to give her something to do other than being captured by Ganon. And this game really, really hit it home, where she's driving the efforts from the beginning to get these beasts up and running, to get the Guardians up and running. You see her struggle with her powers. She's not just inherently a special snowflake, magical power princess. She has to work for it, and for a while it just doesn't work. And to the point where, you're not rushing to save Zelda from Ganon. You're rushing to back her up and to meet up with your teammate and finish the job that you started together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you died.
Yeah. Persona 5 is on the list. I still haven't beaten it because reasons, but it's a solid game. I care about the story. I care about the characters. The visual design is incredible. The fact that they did something unique with the UI, which is something that not a lot of games put effort into. So to see something really that stylized was really cool. The music, I shouldn't have to say any more than that. The fucking music in that game.
I still want a non-$50 soundtrack for it. Like,
and also Horizon Zero Dawn, because we need more games like that. We need more protagonists like Aloy, and I cannot wait to actually dive back into that world and actually experience the story that CJ was promising us earlier in the call.
Oh, it's good. When he was talking about dude getting punched out, I was like, dude, she's gonna hit you. Boom! I was like, oh, I love you.
Caught
it. Dale.
I don't game much, so this is going to be very quick. I was tempted not to put these two on this list because they were really bizarre. But I had a very fun experience playing Night Trap this year.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I owe it to you.
Night Trap.
Watch out behind you.
I am a fan of B-movie stylings, and that it was everything about that.
All the buttons.
It hits all of the B-grade buttons, all of them. And another one that I was hesitant to put on this list was Magikarp Jump. Another one.
Not a game.
Very hesitant to put on this list. Y'all are talking about how you got 300 hours on Persona Jump. I think I've got 300 hours on
Persona Jump.
Oh no!
Persona 5 Jump.
That's you throwing freaking Morgana out the window every time he tells you can't go to bed or you can't go outside.
No. Persona Jump is the dancing game that's coming out this year.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's a rhythm game. It's going to have timed button presses. It's almost a clicker game in that respect.
Persona Revolution.
The last one that came out was Dancing All Night.
Well, this one it's like Dancing Moon Night or something like that.
Japan loves their rhythm games.
I haven't said that in 5 minutes. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean was also another Dale Does Disney game that I played. It was good. It's a good tie-in. I wouldn't say great. There's a few things that I'm not a fan of, like how random people in the menu screen can attack you. That's not great. But apart from that, then there was a game that we played this year, Battle Sloths 2025. It's a great game, and I'm giving that the best of the year because that is it's so fun. And
full disclaimer: the people who make the game is friends of the network.
We're on the show, yeah. It's a bit, yeah. There's also that. There's that disclaimer, but it's still a very good game. It's very simple, and you can pick it up and just go with it. So I'm gonna give that the best.
And it's fair. I want that on the Switch. Like, I'm dead serious. Yeah. I want that, and I've told him this. I'm like, I know it'll never happen because he's a little nihilistic about things. But I'm like, dude, if you could get that out on the Switch, I would buy that in a second, and that it would be like absolute the game to go to for multiplayer games.
Yeah, because the Switch is okay. Nintendo's taking a while to go the online route,
right?
So, but couch multiplayer, it's amazing.
God, yeah.
I mean, a game I'm going to talk to you about right now is couch co-op only.
I know what it is.
Go for it.
Surprised you didn't talk about it. What's that, Dale?
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So, my games of this year, of last year. Zelda, we've already talked to death on that one. Persona 5, amazing game. Not a game to be taken lightly. It's M for a reason.
Yeah, it is.
Right off the bat, it's like, oh, we're going to go there.
Trigger warning, trigger warning.
Yeah. Mario Odyssey, great game. I mean, yeah, you're fighting monsters and all that, but it's like when you're kind of like used to playing games like, say, like Bloodborne, it's a good game to relax to. One that you don't have to. You do have to think about it, yes, and there's platforming and all that, but it's still a great game. And stop saying it's too easy.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, I've got I also played and finished Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Raul needs a hug. Give him all of your internet.
People weren't that depressed when I mentioned Magikarp Jump, so I don't know what.
No, dude.
This game was very depressing.
Dale, I will bring my laptop with me to Australia, and I will have you play this game.
Well, I think he can play it on his laptop, can't he? It's a free game.
But then see, it won't be
good. They're not making people pay to torture themselves.
Exactly.
No, but the thing is that I can't say too much about it because it's just there's a warning. There's a double warning on the store page.
Yeah, they make sure you know what you are getting into with this.
It is not a dating sim.
By the way, Edgar Allan Poe will give you a hug, Raul. So there you go. There's that.
Thank you. But yeah,
Raul needs all his hugs. Send all your positive power.
I actually
he might
just
use
saw
it to become
someone.
a spirit bomb, but
It was great to watch someone play this blind for the first time, and them like they've like automatically hooked onto the game because it's actually well written up to the. I can't say any. Yeah.
Shut up! I'm gonna have Dale stream it.
Okay. Or record it and then post it.
Pressing game for me.
Yeah, up to a certain point, but he was hooked before the turning point. Okay, that's all I can say about Doki Doki Literature Club. It's free on Steam.
Edgar Allan Poe gives you his hugs.
Ah, thank you. And also, I'm surprised CJ didn't talk about this. Cuphead. Yeah, because I'm a sucker for platformers, even though I'm not the greatest at them, and I chose to play a very difficult.
See, like I'm not the hugest fan of platformers. So that kind of they hit me a little low on my end, but
okay. Yeah. But the thing with Cuphead is that you die, but every time you die, you come back a little bit smarter because you understand what's going on.
Because it's all platform. It's all platform. It's all pattern recognition.
Yeah, but it's like you get angry that you die, but then you come back and you progress that much further.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're just like, oh, I got hit early. I have to restart because I need that health at the end.
You get a Zenkai boost.
And when you finally defeat, like I pick it up in short bursts because I can't play that game straight because I will snap my controller. I pick it up in short bursts, and then when I defeat a boss, I'm just like, yes! I'm not sure if I streamed it or not.
It's so satisfying.
It is, and it's just not that kind of like, oh, I took out the boss. Now time to go to the next one. No, it's like you're happy because all these bosses have like between like 3 and I think the boss I just defeated was like 5 phases.
Jesus.
So yeah, it is just like it is very much a lot of fun. So also, Cuphead, I'm probably maybe a third through it at this point.
Can we also acknowledge the sheer amount of work and artistry that went into that game?
Oh my god, it is all hand drawn.
Every single frame.
Yes, and when you're playing it at 60 frames, oh my god. And you can look at the level of detail. They did not take shortcuts with this game.
No, they did not.
But there are some.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then very top of my it's not the best game, but I would say it's the best console right now, the Switch.
Just everything.
Yeah, because like
Marvel's game of the year is the Switch.
well, yeah, because I mean it.
Switching it up, yo.
Yeah, Xbox and PlayStation have been the same thing for the past 15, 20 years. Nintendo's the only one that's actually innovated and tried different things. Xbox has had the same controller. PlayStation's had the same controller. Take it, they are good controllers. But the Switch has changed its controller as many times as there have been consoles. So yeah, I mean, I that's why I like Nintendo, because it's not the same thing. I mean,
Precisely.
when they came out with
that's the thing, is they keep trying new things, but they remember what's worked in the past and they don't just throw that away.
yeah, like I mean, you had the NES, the Super Nintendo, the 64, whatever the hell that thing was.
Where you needed 3 hands to properly operate the controller.
Or a prehensile dick.
But the thing was, the 64 is like once you got used to it, you were there. You could, you got used to the controller, the GameCube controller, which was great.
Yeah, right.
The Wiimotes, which everyone joked around, oh, you're gonna be waving it around and all that. It worked. The thing, and then you had the Wii U,
And almost killed the Proto Men.
yeah.
The Wii is no longer allowed on the tour van.
What, did the thing go flying and hit the driver? Or
Go
what?
flying? No, it hit the lights while they were driving through, like, what was it, West Virginia mountains or something like that?
The mountains of West Virginia at night, they were playing Wii bowling and trading off the controller. And it slipped out of one of their hands and hit the button for the lights.
So suddenly they're driving through
bad horror movie.
West Virginia mountains at night, which
are
I've driven those
serious
during the
fucking
day.
Well,
business.
in that case, you should probably be a little bit smarter than what you're working with.
So yeah,
No, we like that got slipped up real easy. Like that's not even a thing.
All right, so that's it for games from me, Rachel. What games did you have this year?
well, you're
Mute.
muted, Rachel, for one thing.
A what?
You
said
were
nothing.
me.
You were still muted.
I know.
She said Cars 2, the video. No.
Game of the year, Cars 2, the video game.
Her game of the year is Magic Carp Jump.
This year's Happy Shiny Fun Times.
Yes, always a happy, funny shine times.
Especially since we now have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in the house, and I'm not the big one on playing games lately. I tend to like watch in the back. I like to grind. I like to battle. I am horrible with keeping my attention span on storylines lately because I've got so much other shit going on. The only time that I have to play, I want to be mindless. So yeah, CJ ends up with, level 96 characters in Persona 5 because I'm sitting there playing dungeons and killing shit and then saving and going away. I kind of see myself doing that in Xenoblade just to piss him off. Log on, go kill shit. He'll log on and be like 6 levels higher when he goes to rest. But since I've had time between classes, because they don't start until Monday. Well, technically Sunday, but who's counting? I'm kind of in love with Xenoblade Chronicles. Because we did get it before the first of the year, so I can count that, right, CJ?
Yeah, unlike Dale's weird thing where he won't count things in December, you're absolutely free to.
If I was not counting things that we got in December, it would be tied between the 3 main games that the Switch has. So Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, or fucking Aloy, because it doesn't matter. It's Aloy.
Well, it's PlayStation, but beggars can't be choosers.
Because she's amazing. No. And the fact that she hits somebody when I'm like, ooh, I want to hit him, and she goes, poof. Yes!
Living vicariously. That's what
Right?
video games
Because
are all about.
it's like you put your as a woman, and I'm sure Carrie can agree with this, and probably even Dale to an extent. There are some guys out there that just open their mouths, word vomit things, and you're like, I really just want to hit you, but I probably end up in jail for it.
It's not just a female thing, honey.
No, it is not.
I've had a guy at a convention ask to take a picture with me, and when I said he could, he literally picked me up.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, with
Oh yeah,
me.
I've
Now bully me.
understood wanting to hit people.
But the fact that Aloy does all the things that in the back of your mind, you're like, I'd go to jail for killing this person. She just kills him. Be great. Mario Odyssey for the fact of, oh my god, a T-Rex in a hat with a mustache.
With a mustache.
With a mustache.
Stop.
Controlling certain characters and creatures that normally in other games you would not control. I'm not giving away anything with that. And Breath of the Wild, because I love having the freedom that game gives you. It doesn't force you into linear paths 100% of the time, and exploring and some of the views in there are just amazing. It's one of those, where can I find this place? I want to go there.
Also, a moment I forgot to bring up with Breath of the Wild, something that always just kind of takes me to my happy place. When the dragon music kicks in.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see everything start to get all windy, and you start hearing the first couple chords, and it's just like, oh, one of my friends is here.
Yeah, and I love that because, I'm a big fan of the lore of dragons as friends and guardians and gods and benevolent spirits. Not so much the Western ideal of, oh, I'm going to go kill the dragon. And so to have that experience in a Zelda game was amazing.
Yeah, it's not a little annoying thing you're playing whack-a-mole with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's this powerful creature, this representation of the goddesses, because they have the same names.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're so powerful. Being close to them can be physically damaging to you if you're stupid about it.
And there's a lot of stupid, but that's beside the point.
But just, yeah, that music starts up, and you just, even if you're not actually riding the updrafts they cause, it just lifts you up. It's like, I love this game.
Yeah, game of the year for a reason.
Exactly.
All right. I think
that's games.
I think we're all.
I think we've beaten games into the ground.
Well, yeah, it's probably because we
games
don't have a podcast of games anymore. That's why we kind of got everything out on this part.
You like everything on Twitter at no.
All right. Moving Tuesday.
All right. Now on to stuff that we've watched. And like I said, like I was telling Dale, funny, when you have podcasts about television that you watch, you tend to watch a lot of stuff. So I've dedicated myself to 3 of them: anime, because I am a weeb; TV, because stuff; and movies, because I watch a lot of movies, especially now with this thing that I'm not going to talk about until they decide if they're going to sponsor us or not.
You found a subscription service that allows you to perhaps go out of the house on occasion to visit the theater.
So, of course, full disclosure, I host Anime Otaku Show, where we talk about animes with Josh and Carrie and Justin.
Yay.
Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here at twitch.tv/geekio show. I also host the Small Screen Spoiler Show with Jared Azevedo, Mondays right here at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/geekio show. Tune in if you want to know what's going on with one of those at the time. So, I'm going to start with Animus, because this will probably be the quickest of them all. Disappointment, Fluck, Black Clover, and Junie Tyson. Fuck those 2 animes.
Oh, yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. Oh my God, Rachel brought me food. Thank you.
So much promise.
Rolos.
So little delivery.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, like the first 2 episodes of Junie Tyson. Okay, they're trying to build a world, and then it just
falls to shit because because they hate the viewers. I don't want to get too deep into Ancient Magus Bride. One, because it's going on right now, and two, because we talk a lot about this every week or every other week. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here at twitch.tv/geekio show. But Ancient Magus Bride, like, not even just anime, like one of the best pieces of television on right now.
Yep. And it will continue to be so for many years.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see this going down in history as one of the best animes I've ever seen.
Yeah, like we grew up with people talking about, like, you know, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Akira, you know, the very beginnings of like the Dragon Ball fandom, things like that. You know, all these things that you need to see if you're a real anime fan. It's like when CJ's kids are our age, it's gonna be like, yo, did you guys see that Ancient Magus Bride shit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you need to see this thing. It was amazing, and it still is.
Yeah, and if you want to get into it, I mean, it's on both. It's on Crunchyroll and Funimation. I watched both the subs and the dubs, and they're both really, really well done. There's so much love, so much passion put into Ancient Magus Bride that just see it. Like, just there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Just
do yourself the favor of watching this show.
And if you want to be argued into it even more, just watch the backlog of Anime Otaku Show, where I start talking about it and CJ's kind of like, and then the next episode he's like, holy shit, you guys need to watch this.
And even if you if you're one of those people, and Dale's not gonna know exactly who I'm talking about with this, with anime where you think everybody just like big eyes, small mouth going ga 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 ga. Fuck you, one, you're racist. Two, this is not that.
Fuck you, I live with that. Oh wait, that's my husband. Oh, wait, hi, I love you, honey.
No, you fucking know who I'm talking about, and it really pisses me off.
I understand completely. And unfortunately, that is the stereotype that many animes are given.
Well, it's because, admittedly, a lot of them did that. But
yeah, well,
Ancient Magus Bride does not do that.
Look at the early 90s anime. A lot of them that came over to America were exactly that. And
well, no, Ancient Magus does do that, but very sparsely.
I still haven't gotten to the point where, like, knowing what this person says about anime, like, that does not happen in this.
Yeah, anyway, move on. I'm going to say something that I probably shouldn't, but go on. Move on.
My Hero Academia.
Yay!
So great.
So good. Every character is the best character.
Except for Froppy. She's better than all the best.
Froppy has my heart.
And except for Minato, because he's still a little shit.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a broad range of excellence, there's always going to be a little filtering between the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
Some things trend up, some things trend down.
Exactly. It's Froppy, everybody else.
Froppy.
Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Probably the first anime that I had Rachel asking me if we could watch the next episode on.
No, My Hero was the first one I did that. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen next? You're like, that was the last one. And I went, what?
But I need more.
Let's watch it again.
We have to go back and watch it again because I missed something.
And that's the point where people like myself, Carrie, and Justin say, just please go read the manga.
Rachel ain't got time for that shit.
I know, but it's one of those things, especially since it's one of my favorite things about the past year of anime, is the fact that it is such a faithful rendition of the manga.
Like frame by frame.
Legit. But yeah, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Just, I was going to
happy.
Yeah, it is. I was going to put MMO Junkie on there, and I'm like, I loved MMO Junkie. I really did. But if I'm gonna pick a happy anime, like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is by and far the superior, of course, subjective, better anime than MMO Junkie. And then, final one for anime, Twin Star Exorcists. So good.
That finished after what, like 40 or 50 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's done. And it's real good, the entire ride.
I'll have to finish the anime, because I stopped watching the anime and was continuing on with the manga, and the manga got with the fridging really hard.
They do that a little bit. It is obvious that it is dude's story and not lady girl story. But it is it's still like it is still really good from start to finish. Admittedly, yeah, they do put her into a fridge a little bit, but it recovers.
I don't think she's been in a chapter in the manga in almost a year.
Oh, that's real weird. That's really weird. Any other animes that we want to talk about real quick?
No,
yes.
I mean the one.
Let me predict one from Carrie. You ready? Sakura Quest.
Yes, because yes, no, because yeah, it's fun and lighthearted, but I also identify so strongly with these young adults embarking on their lives and not really knowing what the fuck they want to do with themselves. And you get to know these people and their struggles, and you see yourself reflected in them. And then you get to the ending and it all comes together. And I mean, Josh remembers me sobbing like a baby during that last couple episodes because it just hits you that hard. But in this incredibly beautiful, bittersweet kind of way. And it was just one of those that just spoke to me. Also, this year I was finally sucked into Dragon Ball and enjoying every second of it. And Josh introduced me to Outlaw Star before the year was over.
Oh,
You had never watched Outlaw Star?
She missed it in the original Toonami / Adult Swim run.
Oh man!
She got me the Blu-rays for Christmas, and it was amazing.
Was that the legit ones that you wanted, or the ones that she surprised the shit out of you with the wrong?
That was the one she tricked me with because she stopped me from buying myself the Big O Blu-rays, which also something I love dearly. But when I unwrapped the Outlaw Star, it's like, Carrie, are you ready for the hypest opening of the 90s?
Right?
What happened was I saw him leave a comment on an Anime Fix post asking how much the set was. And when we went there, I managed to sneakily buy it right in front of him without realizing it.
Nice.
And then when I handed him a Blu-ray box set shaped package, it was not the Big O he knew was coming, but the Outlaw Star instead.
Another Big O.
Other Big O.
The Big Outlaws.
Yeah, that's the one I faked him out on.
so you've seen the whole series already, right?
Not yet.
I have seen the first 9 episodes.
First disc. We marathoned.
I can't remember what episode I'm just going to say one word. The cat episode.
She's been introduced.
No. I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the cats.
Okay, that hasn't popped up yet.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm pretty certain, yeah. But funny thing about the Blu-rays for Outlaw Star is the fact that it gives you, the whole dual audio option. You can watch, the actually pretty quality dub.
Yeah.
That we got when we were younger,
Which is saying something for that era.
Yeah, for a late 90s dub, like it was up there.
The voices were real good.
Yeah.
Or you can watch the subtitled version with the Japanese voices, which I'd never heard. And surprise, surprise, those of us who watched the original Outlaw Star and had Aisha Clan's voice grind on every last one of our nerves, she's actually much more palatable in the original Japanese audio, and it's actually kind of like entertainingly adorable. Because, of course, being that she's an alien cat girl, when she's saying what or things of that nature, it's Nyani. It's hilarious because it's like, oh my god, you awful bastards went with that pun.
No. No. I'm done.
But yeah, you can still watch the dub, CJ, and it still holds up.
Good.
Anything else on anime?
Not actual anime, but still something animated from this past year that's been real good is DreamWorks Voltron.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I was wondering who was going to bring that up. Of course, the
Yeah.
giant robot guy.
Like, I would not bring up the giant robot TV shows.
Oh my god, that series is so good.
I haven't watched the most recent season. I think I got like a couple episodes into it, and then something probably work stopped me.
Yeah.
But everything about that show has been absolutely fantastic. Between the updated story with the little nods to the original cartoon in the most cheesiest and glorious fashions, the characters that they added that weren't in the original series, you know, just everything about it is so quality. And of course, because it's DreamWorks and also being worked on by the people who made Legend of Korra and Avatar, absolutely beautiful.
Yes. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous.
Yeah, I that series, I mean, the audience is your teen demographic, but
I'm fairly sure the audience is us because it
Really?
is one, the Legend of Korra, and two, the people who have Voltron boners from when they were little.
True.
So
This is, hey guys, come watch this cool thing that's based on something Dad watched.
yeah, exactly. So I'm fairly
Something
sure
down
like,
in the
target
lap.
demo is us.
But I like that there's not very much. There's like 1 or 2 filler episodes in there, but because they have very limited series, like it's only like 12 episodes per season, I think, 10 or 12.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 12.
Yeah, and they're 30-minute episodes, right? 30 minutes or an hour?
They're at 30 minutes.
They're 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They can't
I
have
think a
too
couple
much.
of them run a little longer, but that's because they've got like real shit going on.
Yeah, I mean they can't put a lot of fluff in there like Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra was like story every episode.
Yeah, it was.
That's why Nickelodeon can't just run like 3 episodes of it or marathon it, because it is such, you have to have
dense.
that.
It's a meal. It's got heft.
Yeah, you can't just like marathon it. Oh yeah, I watched 1 episode. No, you have to watch the whole thing to actually enjoy it, unlike other serialized series.
Exactly. Speaking of serialized series, TV time. I'm gonna get off the list. Watch Mr. Robot. It is really great if you don't mind mindfucks. That's all I'm gonna put on that one, because literally anything else is a spoiler for Mr. Robot.
I've heard it's kind of like Fight
It's
Club,
Hacker
the
Fight
series.
Club. It's Hacker Fight Club. And
it's
like the technology that they use for it, the terminology, the technology, how you do things is actual on there. It is 100% true to form. And that is
so it's not like the Hackers movie with the Cookie Monster virus.
no.
Yes. Love the Cookie Monster virus.
It is 100% true to form, and I fucking love it. But like I said, anything, literally saying anything. I mean, even saying Hacker Fight Club is a freaking spoiler.
Yeah,
that is how intricate and dense this show is. It's 3 seasons in. Just go. But
Let's go.
you are going to lose your mind getting there. Speaking of losing your mind, watch fucking Legion. It's on FX. They are not afraid to drop violence and F-bombs and just screw with you internally, but it is one of the best mutant shows out there. Also, The Gifted is real fucking good.
I love that.
Talking about TV shows, one that I saw last year, started watching, that I've seen bits and pieces of, Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer's really, really great.
Oh, and the actor that they have play Lucifer, he is so charismatic.
Sexy.
And
he's sexy. You could be the straightest person in the world and think that man is sexy.
Charming. He is
No.
Oh yeah, he will regardless of your sexual orientation, he will charm you out of your pants.
Charm you out of your. I need that on a business card. That's my new business card.
Think that is it for my S4 shows. So now, shout out to DuckTales. Oh.
That pilot though.
All of it's good. All of it is really, really good.
Right before we leave TV shows.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Oh, no. I'm just pounding through the S4 stuff because, hey, I want you to go listen to my other show.
Okay.
I have ulterior motives. Kind of the reason why I was like, hey, don't listen to what I'm going to say about Ancient Magus Pride here. Go watch the show.
Okay.
So Rachel, you ready to tag team the Good Doctor on being one of the best? Being one of the best shows of in TV this year. I made fun of Rachel because she's a 30-something mom, and I'm like, oh no, oh god, Rachel's falling into the 30-something mom shows like Grey's Anatomy and shit.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, I'll do the overview of this. The Good Doctor is about a young man who is extremely autistic, very high functioning, who happens to have a doctorate. He's now a surgical resident at a hospital out in Texas. It opens up with a sign landing on a young child, glass sign, in an airport. They scream, "Get a doctor." So a doctor shows up. It's not him. Well, this doctor is effing things up left and right, and here comes the Good Doctor. And he goes, You're strangling him because he's got a shard of glass in his jugular vein. Oh, sorry, aortic vein. No, jugular, I was right. No, I took the glass out. He goes, this is a child. Quite literally, this is a child. Your hand is too high. If that was a full-grown adult, it would be fine, but you are strangling him. Lo and behold, the dude moves his hand down a little bit. The kid breathes. Okay. He has his brain, as we know, autism wires the brain slightly differently.
Properly done autism, by the way. 100% to the dot.
And in watching this, in the first 15 minutes, I fell in love with him.
Also, should point out that it's Freddie Highmore, the guy who did Autism Well as well in August Rush. So I don't know where he gets his ability to act as one, an American, and two, mentally disabled or mentally challenged or different, not normal, but this boy's got talent and he's really freaking good at this.
Yeah. So within the first 15 minutes, here I am calling my mother, and she's like, "Oh, I've already seen it. Call me back when you're done." Okay. I'm now texting CJ going, "Okay, you've lost me for the next 2 days. Why?
Bye.
The Good Doctor, Netflix and chill, binge watching, bye. I'll see you at 5.
Speaking of Netflix and chill, thank you, Edgar Allan Ho, for the sub.
Oh, thank you. Woo!
Oh, yay, thank you. So, in watching this, I'm seeing my nephew when he was younger with that same one line of focus, the inability to talk to people. And one of the things that he says in one of the episodes is, "I am autistic. I don't understand functions of or I don't understand the proper social cues. Please excuse me." And he walks into the room, says something completely off the wall that is appropriate for the situation, but could have been, said a little more gently. And you kind of go, oh God, what did he just say to this poor patient? He gets called out by one doctor who's a total asshole, and he doesn't seem to understand that he is not just putting him through the ropes to see what he can do, but he's being a dickhead to him. But he's so not used to these social norms that you're sitting there going, "This guy's an asshole! Stop being a dick to him!" And he's just
Don't you hurt my precious little muffin!
I'll go do that. I mean, he
exactly. It's like, this is the smile you want to protect. Protect it.
He has a nurse following him. Turns around to the nurse and goes, "Okay, for today, she is your boss. Whatever she says goes." Well, 12:31 a.m., there's an emergency. "You are no longer my boss. It is a new day." He goes over and does what he was going to do anyway. I'm like, I love you. I love you and your literal autistic self. I want to hug you.
There are little people like this, right?
Yeah, Brendan. Yes. You don't know him off camera, bro, but Brendan is 100% this.
Brendan, when he puts his mind to something, that is it. He is in the Air Force right now, and bless him, he's doing things that everybody was like, "Oh, he'll never do this, he'll never do that, he'll never get this." No, he wrote when he was 14, "I'm going into the Air Force. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on F-15 fighter jets." Guess what? He's going to tech school to work on F-15 fighter jets.
Right.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about autism, and what a lot of people don't seem to understand about it is it's not so much a mental deficiency as it is just the brain working in a way that we don't understand because it's not the way our brains are wired. My little brother is autistic. He's higher functioning. He hasn't been doing so great lately because the school systems have been kind of been fucking him over, but he is an absolutely brilliant kid in his own right.
Yeah.
And like
Brendan in school, he squeaked by. I won't lie. C's get degrees in my nephew's world.
I actually
That's how he got his education.
I have a peer-reviewed, published in a scientific journal theory about autism being the next step of human evolution.
I have read that, and it is an excellent theory because the thing about evolution is it's not, oh, look, human is evolving. Dun, dun, dun.
Exactly.
Oh, look, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's, this isn't quite right. Give it a few generations, and maybe it should sort itself out based on environmental stimuli.
I didn't know the thing of that. I wrote that when I was 15. So yeah, Good Doctor is just, it's really great. It's on mid-season hiatus for the winter break. It's only 6 episodes out right now. It's on ABC.
Sad.
It's on ABC. It's really, really great. My kids are even watching it through and through. So
yeah, we woke up the other morning and my daughter had started it at the beginning and she was watching it. And my son's going, I don't want to watch. She goes, shut up. I'm busy watching this. It's important.
Well, it is important because much like with other subtypes of humanity, it needs representation. I see, and like, peek behind the curtain, something that absolutely rustles my jimmies to no end that will just flat out make me start disliking you regardless of how much or little I know of you. If you use autism as an insult.
Yeah, and that's the reason why you'll notice me even every time I even bring up the term autism, I'm like, and I have to bring it like when we were doing our thing on the Star Wars 8: The Last Jedi. I mentioned autistic Lando, and Josh kind of got like shoulder squared. I'm like, no. This is me we're talking about here. I'm not using that as an insult.
But that's the sad thing is it's a reflex for me at this point because anytime I see
that's the reason why I was like
a game chat or Facebook discussion or something stupid like that. So what are you, autistic or something? It's like, first of all, fuck right off, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with autistic people. Just like there was nothing wrong with gay people back when, oh, that's so gay was being thrown around as an insult. Yep. Just like there's nothing inherently wrong with anybody who has a mental retardation back when that's retarded was the insult. Mm-hmm. These are people. They are human beings. They are deserving of respect and any sort of dignity that can be given to them. Because, yeah, sometimes things don't exactly go well for them. Especially in cases like autism where they just can't grasp the social straws that we've grasped at since we were kids because our brains are wired the conventional way. But what they can do is some things.
In the Good Doctor.
They can do some things that most of us can't even dream of. I was watching a documentary about an autistic man who was flown over Italy, Greece, in a helicopter, heavily autistic to the point he couldn't even speak properly. Like at all, I don't think. And then they put him in front of a whiteboard and he draws flawlessly down to the number of windows every building they flew over.
Gee.
So the concept that it is the next step of the human brain's evolution, getting that more advanced processing power and ability to focus, I think is absolutely correct. Are we ever going to see a payoff to it in our lifetimes? I doubt it, but it is not a bad thing, and people need to be educated on that. And I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Sorry.
No, and it's fine, but I mean, it does come back to the point of, especially if you have hangups on what autism actually is, like, just watch this show, and it gives it's a little Hollywooded, but not to a point where it's sinful.
But it's also there is one episode where Dr. Asshole, I'm just going to refer to him as Dr. Asshole, they bring an autistic boy in, and he's flailing and he's screaming and he's upset, and the Good Doctor walks out and says, "You're scaring him, let him go," and he calms down. He has a bias towards another person with the same disability that he has. The parents of said child don't want to listen to anything that the good doctor has to say. Why? Well, you've got the same problem our son has. What if you freeze up like he freezes up? Asshole doctor actually goes, you know what? He's a member of my surgical team. I have put him through more rigorous, demanding tasks than he probably deserves to be put through. He's on my team, or I'm not doing the surgery for your child. I've already got somebody prepped at this hospital for you. What do you want? And the autistic boy turns around and goes, no, I want Sean, which happens to be his good doctor's name, to be there. They had never taken into account what their child wanted because he was autistic.
And that unfortunately happened a lot, but is getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
But that is something interesting that I've noticed, is that the people whose brains are wired differently, you know, the autists out there, they seem to understand when someone else has that similar altered wiring. My little brother actually knew one of his classmates was autistic before he was formally diagnosed, but he didn't see it as anything wrong. He's like, oh, you've been hanging around. I don't know the kid's name, unfortunately. It's, you know, you've been hanging around Billy lately. What's going on? I like him. He's like me.
Even at a varying degree. And it's a connectivity that they have. But I mean, for that child to stand up and at 18, that autistic boy was like, I want him. That was it. The parents were so dumbfounded. But I digress, since we've gone on a total tangent.
Yeah,
It's a tangent to go off on.
I kind of knew this would have been an issue when I brought this up. The Doctor Who season for this year is really, really, really great. Peter Capaldi, will miss you. Stephen Moffat, you did stuff.
Who did Moffat things?
CJ, librarians.
Hello, Lady Doctor.
Hello, lady.
No, I don't think the librarians is the one you're talking about. I think you're thinking about the magicians.
Oh, no, I've got both of them on here. Thank you.
Magicians is grown-up Harry Potter, including sex and cursing and drinking. It's awesome. It's really freaking good. And they even reference the fact that Harry Potter exists. And, yeah, they're like, we're beyond adult Harry Potter. And then the two main characters go out and boink. Like...
Okay.
Yep.
It's on Sci-Fi, but like the on-demand and the one on Netflix is uncensored and so good. So good.
You want to put that wand where?
Well, they're
Why
like,
does everything smell so good? Your doppelganger hasn't discovered cocaine yet. That was the one from last night. That's all I remember falling asleep with.
Your doppelganger hasn't discovered cocaine yet.
Yep.
It's so good.
Show title. Show title.
He's walking around going, it smells so good in here. There's so many good smells. Yeah, that's because your doppelganger hasn't discovered cocaine. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
It's bizarre and fun, and the first two seasons are on Netflix, and it's so good to watch.
Oh, and all I'm going to say and watch CJ's face, CJ, Battle Magic Fairy.
Jesus.
Right.
And then the Librarians, which is American Doctor Who, and brilliant.
It is brilliant. It really is.
All right. TV else before we get into movies.
I don't do a whole lot of TV, though.
We cut our cable subscription this year, so
Nice.
Legit. Good choice.
Frontier, actually. Netflix original series. They're not Netflix original series. It's like Discovery Canada, and then Netflix got involved for the second season. Stars Jason Momoa. Takes place in the 1800s during the fur trade in Canada, and it's real good. It is very intense. There's some violence and some gore, but yeah, it's the untamed Canadian Quebec wilderness when the British government ruled everything, and you have all these competing fur trapping companies trying to vie for economic and political dominance. And so it's basically like Game of Thrones meets the North American frontier meets Jason Momoa in the lead.
Does he have a shirtless moment at least once?
I think so.
Okay, then I'll start watching it.
I think so because I'm pretty sure I remember.
Prerequisites met.
The thing is like it's in Canada, it's in winter, it's about the fur trade, so people tend to dress
got hard
very
nipples
warm.
with fur on his shoulders. I'm okay with this.
He does get to kill a lot of people.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's a real good show. Gotta give some love to Stranger Things. Won't harp on it because I know CJ doesn't like it all that much, but I enjoyed it at the end.
To each their own. Apparently, I am the one who does not like it. Kind of like I am the Daryl versus Thor Ragnarok for this.
I haven't watched it yet.
Give it a shot. It's pretty good.
I every time I go to look at it, I'm like, no, the kids are up. I probably shouldn't.
But yeah,
Season
season
the Blood and Gore and the Good Doctor.
yeah, but yeah, season 2 of Frontier came out actually last month, I think, and yeah, it's real good.
Okay, priorities must add this. To
Yeah,
the
I mean,
watch list.
I don't watch much TV. All the stuff I watch is online, and Doctor Who, I watch it through the app.
Can I add a category to best things watched?
What's that?
Best live show?
Are you gonna say the Christmas Carol?
No, I'm gonna say the Proto Men.
Oh, legit.
They put on a damn good show, and Orlando is one of their favorite places to go because the Florida fan scene is so embracing of them. So if you like Mega Man and or rock operas and or the 80s, go to a Proto Men show.
If you like all three things, bring a change of pants.
Two of those three things I'm in on.
Before we leave the TV space, though, I do want to give out a mention to 13 Reasons Why this year. I'm the one person that enjoyed that show, apparently, but that's a whole nother kettle of fish that we don't have time to get into. But I thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was trying to be.
Legit, yeah, absolutely.
It was definitely a good conversation piece as far as a media presentation went, because the fact that so many people talked about it meant that it did something.
Right.
You know, whether people loved it or hated it, it evoked feeling and thought and conversation.
Yeah, it did something and got people watching something that has such a major stigma against it.
Yeah. But I just wanted to throw that out there before we left TV.
No, and that's legit. Movie time. So everybody's movie this year, favorite movie this year is Wonder Woman, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We did an entire 2-hour episode on it. So
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Because again, I mean, first of all, Wonder Woman is the only reason I think any of us were willing to give Justice League much of a chance.
Yep.
Second of all, it was a movie that absolutely needed to happen for all of the reasons that we loved it so much.
Right.
And it was a good movie.
Like 13 Reasons Why we love Wonder Woman.
Even aside from all of the fantastic and great things it did for women and media and, you know, its parent company, it was just genuinely a good movie.
Yeah.
So, okay, because we're touching on the movies at this point, as I said, the 3 top movies this year starred strong women.
Yes.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi with 54 million.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty and the Beast with 504 million. And Wonder Woman with 412 million.
I forgot about Beauty and the Beast.
The next after that is Guardians of the Galaxy with 389 million. Does this tell you something?
Which has a strong woman right up there with them. So
yeah.
Other two movies on the top of my list of movies that we're not going to really hound on too much because we did stuff on them. Spider-Man: Homecoming and The Last Jedi.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh my god! Listen to that rant review.
Dale's wrong, and the rest of us enjoyed it.
Sorry.
Dale's opinions are valid, even if we disagree with them.
No, they're not.
Yes.
That's the thing about any sort of art form, is that there is room for interpretation and dissenting opinions, and it is the fact that those exist that give us the feelings that we do about this movie. It's the whole play of light and shadow. If everybody feels the same way about something, it's not going to stand out.
Right. And I think part of the problem was an expectations thing. And
Possibly.
the same, but it was the Captain America syndrome that Spider-Man Homecoming unfortunately suffered from. So, but that's a whole nother time.
Only to you, because you're wrong.
And CJ?
One movie that I saw last year that was new to me. It wasn't new to me. I knew it existed, but the first time I saw it was last year. Was Cooper and the Two Strings.
Yes.
That was.
We'll get to that in just. I actually, there's a reason why I'm going to stop you on that one, because reasons. But stop right there for a moment. We'll get back to that. I promise you that there will be a payoff, Raul. I'm not just stopping you because I'm a dick. I promise you.
Hey, CJ.
Yes.
722 movies according to Box Office Mojo last year, and the top four have really strong freaking women characters in there.
And that's awesome. Because we needed it. Second favorite movie of the year last year, The Greatest Showman.
Still need to see that.
It is.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. It is beautiful. It is flawed, but because it is flawed, it just adds to it.
But here's your thought. It is a flawed movie about a man who takes in flawed characters.
Yeah.
And makes them the stars that they never thought that they'd be. Gives them some kind of platform that they never thought they'd have.
If you have not listened to This Is Me, the now the Golden Globe nominated song for Best Picture of the Year, it is a hair-raising, amazing song,
Yes.
and not a lick of Hugh Jackman in it, and that's the thing. That song has none of the main draw to the show. Well, the main two draws was just Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. But
draws, but that's a whole.
It is the song of quite literally the Misfits.
To pull a line from the movie, it is a celebration of humanity, and it was a great thing to watch at the end of the year, of a year where humanity kind of took a step back, in my opinion.
Yeah,
more than one.
Oh yeah. And then Coco. Everybody go see Coco, but prepare to cry a river.
Yeah. This is what you'll need right here. You might want to supersize it.
Many tissues.
Audio listeners, I'm holding up a beautiful box with a butterfly on it, and it's a box of tissues.
I normally don't get choked up in movies, but it kind of got me towards the end.
I only get choked up at movies where an animated character voiced by Vin Diesel potentially dies.
Honorable mention for best worst movie, new to Rachel and CJ this year, is The Room.
I want to go see it in theater.
I did not.
I do not want to talk about it. It did not happen.
Great. Yes, I love it.
Disaster artist because of it.
Yes, and the disaster artist is so amazing. You
I
guys,
want to see that. We never got to see it.
it is so
I never
amazing.
did. I don't know that was in theaters.
Oh my god!
I did
it's
not
so
see
good.
it. I did
But-
not.
But The Room is going back into theaters next week, and I want to go see it. I want to go see it.
I did not see it.
Apparently, it's like Rocky Horror level, like in
Have the
theaters.
water bottle.
So-
It'll make it easier.
Everybody
did
throwing
not.
footballs at the
That's
screen.
Bullshit.
And spoons. They throw spoons at the
Oh
screen.
my god, the spoons.
Yeah, like I said, apparently, like it's Rocky Horror level, and that's the reason why I'm like, we really should go and do a thing where
Wait,
we
are the spoons a real thing?
Yes, the spoons are a real thing in
They
the
are.
movie. On the mantelpiece. In the
Yeah,
apartment.
everybody like spoons are a thing that people bring to the thing. From what I've never seen a viewing of it in theaters, I just I can say like because this kind of lit a fire under my butt watching this movie.
Right.
And yeah, it's
DJ's goal for 2018 is to get in contact with Tommy Wiseau.
Oh my
find
god.
a way to get him to come onto the Geek IO show.
yes.
I regret to inform you guys, I might feel a bug coming on that night.
Yeah, I'm super
feeling
ready, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm super ready.
Yeah, he's super hard to get, but I have done my journalistic integrity, and I may or may not have found a direct
Cicero, on the other hand,
personally contacted him.
I would love to have Mark on the show.
Yeah, actually, I've thought about trying to get a hold of Mark, but just the fact of having Tommy Wiseau, like
the question
I'll
is,
come on for the Mark one and just be like, "Oh, hi, Mark."
that's the thing is, would we break him as if he jumped into the Zoom and all of us were immediately, "Oh, hi, Mark."
Hi, Mark.
He just hangs up.
Oh, hi, Mark.
fuck you guys, click.
Hands up.
Disconnect meeting closed. Like, that was great. That was so
All right.
worth it.
Any other movies to talk about before we move on to
Yes.
self-indulgence?
Blade Runner 2049 is amazing. Don't listen to what anyone tells you, even though just don't trust my judgment. But Blade Runner 2049 is amazing, and it is just, it's one of those movie epics. It's such an epic movie that you really just have to be patient with. And
Spend 4.5 hours to watch.
Exactly. And if you've got 9 hours to spare on a Sunday afternoon, as it turns
I'd
out I
rather
did,
be fighting a boss than watching that movie.
I
to fight the boss in that movie.
really fucking enjoyed Lego Batman movie.
Oh yeah, man.
Friends are
That was
family.
this year. Jeez.
Right.
Like I just
Long
it's
year.
it takes a Lego movie to write a compelling Batman story that makes me want to watch it.
And you have Tara Strong back as Harley Quinn, which is nice.
Yeah.
Tara Strong is amazing.
She is.
Before CJ
Justice
derailed
League is
me,
still bad.
watch Kubo and the Two Strings.
Dude, trust me. All right. So are you ready for the payoff on this one?
Yeah.
All right. So best Geek IO shows of 2017. First one I want to put up there. 193. You want to know why 193?
It's a review. It's out gushing over Kubo and the Two Strings.
No, that's 213. 193 is the first appearance of these two people on the bottom right of me, Josh and Carrie.
Yay.
213 is us gushing over Kubo and the Two Strings.
I'm sorry, Josh and Carrie.
I'm not. I mean, as far as other best moments of 2017 was Carrie and I's random decision on our day off to camp outside of a GameStop and happened to overhear CJ getting upset about something.
Probably something I said on the show, no doubt.
No. But yeah, seriously. I looked and I'm like, all right, I have to figure out when they came on. And I actually went back and read all of our notes, every single one of our notes.
Yeah, it was a slog.
And got all this taken care of. And I'm like, my first one that I want to bring on is absolutely 193. But I mean, definitely up there with that is 213 with Kubo and the Two Strings rant and review, which is probably the most fun that I've had watching the movie and doing a rant and review about it.
Probably one of our shortest rant and reviews too.
And that actually did something for the rant and review of the fact that like maybe great movies like this, maybe not great for rant and reviews.
Well, yeah, because we can't tear them apart because there's nothing to break down.
Exactly. So Kubo and Two Strings did a great thing with pretty much unifying us behind a movie that's damn near perfect.
Isn't it our record holder?
It is our record holder. I'm like 90% sure it's our record holder. Maybe Force Awakens might be up there with it, but it's
Or Wonder Woman.
Yeah, those are the top three. But like Kubo and Two Strings actually did a lot for us and unifying us as a group. During a time where I know I personally during this time was a little short with people, and
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there was a ton of stuff going on, and I was just kind of trying to get over a bunch of stuff for myself, and also trying to organize things here. And Kubo and Two Strings did a great job of unifying us. And Dale broke the stream.
Since we're going into episodes. Kubo was one of my favorite ones. Live from Dragon Con with Dale.
211 with our Dragon Con show is just brilliant. So good.
And because it was you, me, Rachel, and Dale.
Yeah.
And McFarlane.
Yeah, McFall.
Whose first name escapes me right now. I don't know.
Charles.
Charles, yes. Sorry, Charles. And my number one episode from last year is our special Mana Pool Thursday night Nugs and Jugs.
213, baby. Never forget. 213. 213, never forget.
And while Dale is still back on camera now, on my list as well was 202, the first ever appearance of Duckstep.
Oh yes! Oh, and that was the episode. I behind the scenes, I do need to. I have a hard limit right now, but 202 was the story of CJ's extra long combo deal, if memory serves me correctly, with Justin Robert Young. CJ's Embarrassing Bodies episode is what I labeled it as.
Yes, Justin Robert Young, entitled.
Oh, you guys were not in the room, Josh and Carrie, with him remixing it at like different speeds.
Right, at
Dragon Con. He was going slower and then faster and then really, really
It was like an hour of it. That's
still Dale coming off the plane out of the mono train that we have down here, monorail train.
right.
And CJ just holding his phone up with Duckstep.
I've
ever seen Dale turn so freaking red. Like he would have been shining brighter than his beautiful pink headset right now.
And then I turned around and walked straight back onto the flight, and I quit the next day. Funny story.
Finally, you quit the next day.
Also, episode 196, dishwasher kangaroo jerky.
That is my honorable mention. Is 196 kangaroo.
Was that when we went crazy? When
that was the one with Jay Hammond C without me on the show, where you guys just went on this really weird tirade with the guests. Which, by the way, I fucking love.
It was great. I re-listened to that episode the other day, and it was just
it's real good. It's real good. You guys clicked with Jay Hammond C. That was just on a fantastic level.
Right.
My birthday Cards Against Humanity episode was real great. I love that one because Josh and Carrie added a newness to Cards Against Humanity, which has subjected everybody else to every year. That was not there before, and I freaking loved for it.
And honorable mention goes to episode 200, of course.
Of course,
we passed the 200 episodes. Episode 200 wasn't the one. We were all just having an off day, and it turned out to be probably one of the best episodes we've ever done.
Oh, absolutely! I think 200 was when I did a quiz, right?
I don't remember.
It's
been a while.
But there was something that happened that we all just went so far off the rails, and it was just this amazing.
Yeah, the thing is that like really good shows, we go off the rails, but unfortunately, it's like 3 hours long.
Like this one. But I do have to head off. Apologies, I do have a hard limit. So.
And just really quick, though, before we do that, I do have a disappointment for the year. Just really, really quick. Okay. Episode 198, the rant and review of Sausage Party. Which I went back and listened to, and not only the fact that it kind of the polar opposite of Kubo, bad movie, and we did not enjoy actually like talking about it. Like we were all kind of forcing ourselves to be entertaining, and it came through. So that kind of put a hard like Kubo and Two Strings and Sausage Party put my two limits, and both of those happened this year for rant reviews.
Your hard limits.
Yes, my hard limits. Those movies are just the tip. Anything else is okay.
Jesus.
All right. So anything else on self-indulgent bullshit before we let Dale go?
I love you people.
Indeed. All right. So let's go ahead and wrap this up then.
That won't take more than 10 minutes. I can squeeze it 10 minutes.
No, we got this. All right. Who's in the notes? Hey, Rachel.
You can join us live.
What are we doing next? Oh, yeah. I got to do that part first. You can join us live Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Fridays at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/GeekIO Show. If you want to get a hold of us, you can do so. GeekIO Show, gmail.com, Twitter, Facebook, all of the social medias are /GeekIO Show. If you are so inclined, give us a call. Geek Hotline, 727-489-4335. That is 727-489-GEEK. Remember, you can support this show and everything that we do on the GeekIO network over at patreon.com/GeekIO.
Hey, CJ, move your mouse so I can actually see what I'm reading. Thank you.
What are we doing next week?
Hopefully I don't, completely hack this person's name apart. Next week we have author of Lessons from Little Ones. Oh, God, I need some of those. Children Know Success. Do you? Nick Burton?
Yep, close enough.
If I hacked it apart, I'm sorry. Is joining us.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
January of guests, my friends.
My second least favorite bumper now. No, I'm just kidding.
Now it's time for the Geek I.O. Winter Movie Smackdown Update.
All right.
How about just have it by?
SmackDown shuffle over the holidays, and turns out that no one could stop the power of a Nintendo 64 game or pitchy bitches, as Jeff starts 2018 out with a bang. But with Raul's insanely long fingernails on a movie poster, will it be enough to take him down? Ending their runs, Father Figures, and Pitch Perfect 3. Entering the second week's nothing. Opening this week, the movie that Raul's going to win the movie draft with, Insidious, The Last Key. I think we might have settled that into what we're going to get. Maybe Josh might get a little bit higher, but I predict Jeff will win this right now with $29.2 million. Jared Budlong is in second place with $20.6 million. Carrie's in third place. Star Wars having a major drop-off, bringing her to $18.2 million. Josh is in fourth place with $11.1 million. Fifth place is Roe with 7.5. I am in last place with 6.1. My guess is this is where we're going to end it. This is going to be the exact limit. This is going to be what we're getting at, 1 through 6. That is my bet.
All right. So this week on the Geek IO Network, Generic Live Show is doing a Best of 2017 series. The Great Burger Debate of 2017 and the Greatest Hits of 2017 are up. And this Sunday, join Dell and CJ for the biggest stories of 2017. There's a theme going on here.
There's a theme here that I should really not put in the notes, but anyway.
And a quick how-to guide on Crypto Kitties. Hold your... What?
Now to read the show notes before the show.
Also, go to youtube.com/Generic Live Show for a new channel trailer. It is an adventure through time, which I've seen it, and it is amazing.
It really is.
In this week's episode of The Mana Pool, the party goes running in the rain after Remy. We found out some new things about our giant friend.
Discovery is magic.
Yes. Anime Otaku Show talks finales of Junin Tyson, season finale of Food Wars, and what makes ancient Magus Bright damn near perfect, and more.
Yeah. Oh boy. We got some show's title candidates.
Yes, we do. And sort by votes is off.
We have again?
Showbot.tv/GeekIO Show.
GeekIOShow.showbot.tv.
That is. It changes in your browser. I was just reading it from the
yeah. No,
either one works.
Either one.
We have Onto the Nudes, 5 years. Your cat gets bigger. Tell me Australia's better. And then the ending happened. Hey to look pretty, like real life. A disappointment I keep going back to. Aloy is baeloy. Breath of the Wild joy. 300 hours on what? We remotely hang out and a lot and have similar tastes. They're not the same person. Appropriately sized man hands. Persona jump, dance, dance, persona. Switching it up, yo. Ga, 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 ga. The other big O. Nyani. Charm you out of your pants. You want to put that wand where? Your doppelganger hasn't discovered cocaine yet, and a bunch of stuff happened.
And a writing candidate for something something Dale something something.
Oh yeah, there's no show titles with Dale in it this week. Yay!
Dale something
Combo breaker.
Yeah, combo breaker.
Combo breaker.
Your Doppelganger hasn't discovered cocaine yet.
Yeah, Dale Ganger. Your Dale Ganger.
All right, we hang out, remotely hang out, and have a lot of similar tastes is our show title, which is a great way to end off 2017, kick its ass to the curb, and move on into a better, brighter, more amazing 2018 with this outro that I'm about to play.
Oh, no. It's a joke.
Hi, my name is Water Buffalo, and I hope you've enjoyed this Geek I Media Network production. Copyright 2018, you see how that works?
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Dale, you are a gem.
Thank you. I try.